Welcome to Maximising Efficiency. I'm joined by two special guests today, Laura and her furry friend, Cooper. So, Laura, welcome to Maximising Efficiency. And today we're going to be talking about the world of practice insights. And for those of you who don't know what practice insights are, it's a section within your Dext account that really does help you truly maximise efficiency within your bookkeeping processes. So, Laura, where is Practice Insights within the platform? How do we set it up? And give me your top three features within Practice Insights.
Oh, just three. Right. Hold on a second. I shall share my screen and then we'll. So, Insights is available to anyone on the advanced subscription. So, if you are on advanced, it will be here on the new platform. If you're on Essentials, this will have a padlock against it. If you want to find out more or give it a trial, contact your account manager and they can set you up on a free 30-day trial. So, when you go into Insights, it does what it says on the tin. It gives you insights as to how you're using the software within the practice. Now, before I go into anything else, the most important thing within here is to set up your filters, because at the moment, you'll see you've got all of these filter tabs. They're going to be of no use to you if you've not set up who's managing the bookkeeping, whether it's yourself or the client. So you do that within the client settings. So once you're in Practice Insights, three things I like. Right, I'm going to go for supplier rules first. So what you'll see here is actually we're not doing very well. 10.3% supplier rules. We want that to be at least 40%, and that's a minimum. Because think about it, how many of those items should you not need to touch? At least half of them. So on the left-hand side, you can see supplier rules by client. So we can see here that Zero Zebras have processed 43 items in the last 30 days. But 40 of those have got no rules set up. Now, if I was in practice and I was using this, I would come into Insights, I would filter, change it to me, so I only see the clients that I'm working on, and then click here. What that does is it takes you straight into the supplier inbox. So therefore, you don't need to go looking for anything, filter it by number of items. Right, okay, we've not got any rules set up. Well, I know that every time that I get something come in from EE, I want that to go to telephone. So once you've set that up, that will then just help you be more slick, more efficient, and create a bit of more capacity. Now, you might be thinking, but Laura, that's one client. Yeah, it's one client. But if each of your team go in and do 5 rules on 5 clients once a week, think of how that multiplies up. Marginal gains. So
Amazing.
that's my
Yeah,
first thing.
I think on that as well, Laura. It'd be great to sort of keep people accountable for that number at the bottom. So that like 10% number that you said there is like, let's have a KPI, let's have a target for the team that we want to be 20% by next month and slowly get those numbers up.
Exactly. And with that as well, Matt, I've found, and I never knew this before working at Dext, but people in accountancy firms are really competitive. Right. So what you can do is you can set up locations and teams within Prepare. And then when you filter, you could say, right, show me team A, team B. That might be pods you've got or different teams within the firm. And then gamify it and pitch a little competition between those teams. Who can be the best by the end of this quarter? Who can be the best by the end of this month? And I tell you what, I've seen some real instances of that flying up.
Yeah, no one wants to be last. So, what is your
Exactly.
second feature, Laura?
Oh, second feature. Right, we're going to go and have a look at submitted items. Now, within here, you go to submitted items and activity. How many of you know what delay days are? Max, what's a delay day? I'm hoping you know the answer.
Yeah, I do know the answer. So it's basically the proof of whether we are getting that real-time data collection. So the delay is the date of the actual invoice date and the date that document arrives within your Dext inbox. So for us, as accountants, we would do things like management account, where we produce a set of accounts for everybody, and then by the time we've come to do the next month's management account, all last month's figures have changed because the client sent me all their invoices super late. So is that right, Laura?
That's it, yeah. And I'm pretty sure you had a list of clients that you could know off by heart that would be the ones that would be moaning that their management accounts were late. but would also be the same ones that were getting their items in incredibly late and not sticking to what they should do.
Exactly that. So I
Yeah.
think one thing I think that take us to the next level on this one, Laura, is obviously we know there's a delay here, and like what can help us to breach that conversation? Is there another solution within this insights and that could maybe give us a bit of insight to why there is such a delay?
Yeah, absolutely. So if we go into here, if you go into view item select delay, if you were to filtered in and put in the settings for your bookkeeping frequency, you can see here that Orange AI, we're meant to be doing bookkeeping weekly. It's taking them on average 32 days to get their items into us. So, right, how can we get them to be getting their items in quicker? How can we get them to be doing what they need to be doing within the time frame they need to be doing? And when you've got this tangible evidence here that you can go to the client and say, this is where you're sat, this is where you should be, it makes a massive, massive difference to the conversations you have.
And could it be something to do with, what methods they're sending their invoices into Dext?
Absolutely. So we know that the most efficient and quickest ways to get the items into Dext via supplier email, either set up on an auto forward, or as soon as it comes into their email inbox, they forward it on, or ideally the supplier sends it straight into Dext for them. And secondly, the mobile app. We use Dext for our expenses, and I'm sure you do it as well, Max. We go out, we buy something, we do something, we take a photo there and then it's done. So the delay days are definitely lower dependent on their submission methods. So with regard to submission methods, what we will do is if we go in and have a look, did you want to talk around this part, Max?
Yeah, I can do. And this is exactly what you were just sort of saying there in terms of I can come into a client here and I can look via sort of the method in which something was submitted. And I can go to that view all submissions there at the bottom to give a bit more of a granular detail about all of my clients on here. So if you order them there, Laura, for me by web app, that's perfect. So I can see, right, okay, Jim here, we've just identified that Jim has a really long submission delay. It takes forever for him to get an invoice and process it directly into Dext. This is because at the month end, Jim's saving everything in a desktop folder or something, and he's uploading everything via the web app there. Jim's never used the mobile app out and about. He's never used the email forwarding tool. He doesn't have any fetches set up with any of his suppliers, and he's not taking use of any of those real-time collection methods. Everything he's doing is manual from his desktop PC and uploading it to Dext, which in my opinion is probably the slowest method. So what can we do there based on this information to improve that journey? Jim might not be a bad client. He might just need educating to become a really good client. So can we send him a little video on how to use the app, how to structure the email forwarding? And can we get him to get that submission delay down? That effectively means that he's going to have that real-time data collection. Us as accountants can then start providing real-time business advice. So if he rings up and asks, can he afford an office? Can he afford that new member of staff? We'll have up-to-date information that's not 30, 60 days too late. So super, super useful. So Laura, just as a summary, we're talking get all your bank rules set up, find out if there's submission delay, and then take that submission delay conversation that one step further. And what are our clients using to submit those their information into Dext, and how can we help them become perfect clients? So Laura, finally, what does Cooper think of those three features?
Cooper, what do you think? He is blown away, as you can tell.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Laura.
Thanks,
and
Max.
we hopefully see you next time on Maximising Efficiency. Cheers.
Bye.